Using astrology for prediction is bad for you. Right, so I want to talk about this because I've been going through a real, I don't know, transformation, awakening thing going on to do with my health, and also just because I've just realised a few things. So if you come for me for a reading, don't ask me to make any predictions, because I've realised that I think it's really unhealthy to go into the realm of looking into the future, because once you do that, you're going into another dimension. You're opening up portals to beings who you don't know who these entities are, and they help you. They can be your spirit guides, but spirit guides are tricksters, and spirit guides can be dangerous for your health. And I think when you're an astrologer and you depend too much on divination, or you attract a lot of clients who want assurances about the future, which no one really knows because we have free will here anyway. You're dabbling in areas that are bad for your health because you're sort of stretching time. So I was thinking, I always feel, when I'm on holiday I always feel better, but that's because I'm not doing any readings. When I do a lot of readings, my health really suffers, and I thought, well, why is that? Because I like helping people, and I do get energized from a reading, but if I do too many, and it also depends on the client, some readings I find really hard, and it's like I don't know what it's like, kind of walking through mud. It's really hard to describe. It feels muddy. Others are really easy. It just flows. Maybe it's their energy, maybe it's their chart, I don't know. But the point is, when you're in astrology, you really are exposing yourself to a lot of different energies, and you don't know which ones are good. And it's like there are good bacteria in your gut and there are bad bacteria in your gut. And this is what I'm suffering from at the moment. So it's got to be coming from something outside as well. So I think this health thing, this is something I really want to get into doing, and I want to help people with health, with actual physical health, and not be so much in the ephemeral, in the unseen, because you just don't know what you're dealing with. You can actually look at things in your body under a microscope. You can see the demons, if you like. You can see the bacteria. But when you're dealing with things unseen, you're just working blind. So I thought, I still want to do readings, but I have to really make it clear to clients, I suppose, or potential clients, what they can expect from a reading. So I think I attract a better quality or healthier clients, because that's healthier for me. And I have to think of myself. I have to think of myself and my own health, because I can't help everyone, and the quality of my advice is going to be pulled down by negative or very, very psychically ill people. And that's not fair on the people who really aren't psychically ill, who actually want just guidance. They don't want to know. They're not like asking repeated questions about things. They just, you know what I mean? I can give them a nudge and then they're on the way. But if it feels like I'm having to explain again and explain again and again and again, and I am doing the pushing for them, or I'm having to carry them, then that's not good. And that's not good for them either, because you're weakening their muscles as well. They have to develop their own independence when it comes to healing themselves psychologically and archetypically. So what I can provide for clients is sort of reading your archetypes. I can do that, and also this is another thing I was thinking too. It's like, why is it so, you know, I get feedback saying, God, how did you know that? And that's just, you know, you're describing things about my parents that, you know, I think what it is that, again, I'm going into too much of the psychic realm, which I don't want to do, really. I don't think it's good for me, and I don't think it's good for them. But I think I can, and also there are archetypes out in the ether that we all create. We're co-creating these archetypes, and they affect us even if we don't know about them, because they're out there in thought forms. So and if people are creating, say, negative archetypes about, say, Saturn square Mercury, Saturn square Mercury, then if you see that in your chart, I mean, you might be playing that out in your life, not even realizing it, just because it's out there in the environment that is a negative thing. And so what I want to do is correct that and say, okay, Saturn square Mercury can make you, supposedly makes you think in a negative way. But I want to turn that around, and like I keep saying, and I do this in readings anyway, I say, you know, turn it into a diamond. It's realistic thoughts. It's grounded thought. It's very base, and it's mature, and it also means that you're very, you know, you have to see to believe, which in a way isn't a bad thing. You know, it's not good to have blind faith. So yes, I think what my purpose should be when I do a reading is like, here's your chart. This is what these archetypes represent, but they do not dictate your life. They really don't. They might get activated by transits as well, which then will help you focus on, well, what is this archetype? How is it playing out in my life? Am I attracting... Actually, that's another thing, as with Mercury square Saturn, you could be attracting negative thinkers. You might not be a negative thinker. They may be projecting that onto you. And then you just have to sort of say, all right, that's not me. And this is another thing about traditional astrology that I really like, is that the chart is not you. It's describing your environment. You are only the ascendant, really. So if you have Mercury square Saturn in your chart, but Mercury doesn't rule your ascendant, then it's less likely to do with you. So you have to remember this. And this is the thing why I don't like the New Age and modern astrology, because it's all about you, and the chart becomes all about you, and everything in it is you. And it can be a self-fulfilling prophecy, and I'm not about that. And so yeah, I can't predict. I don't want to predict. Well, I can predict, that's the thing. I can very often predict, but I don't want to. You have free will. I can guide you. I can tell you the astrological weather, because that's the point. Natural law, you know, we know that winter's going to be cold. Generally, you might get some days where it's going to be, you know, a bit warmer than average seasonal temperatures, and astrology works like that. You know, you can kind of say generally this is the astrological weather, but it doesn't mean to say that you have to play it out in the most negative way. It's 50%, and the higher and the more evolved you are, the less astrology controls your life. That's how I see it. So the more that you let other people control you, and the more of a victim mentality you have, astrology is going to be like 99% or 100% even, and that's not a good thing. So we want to get it down. We want to get it down so astrology is just the weather, and the weather doesn't dictate who you are, does it? And you know, it's like, yeah. so I think how I can help people, I'm a counsellor, really. I haven't any qualifications for being a counsellor, a life coach maybe. I know these things just because I'm old. And I have life experience and I'm a mother, so I have experience of that. And you know what I'm like because you see my videos on YouTube. So, you know, if you like what you see and you kind of resonate with me, then I can help you. And that's why, again, I want people to know who I am. Don't just look at the website and think, oh, it's all very magical and la la la. And a lot of the articles I've taken off a lot of the Lilith ones because they really aren't up to date. But there are maybe some that are still kind of out of date. So the best thing, so this is why I wanted to update who I am. So you know who I am, know what to expect, and know that, you know, you have the ultimate say in your life. You have free will. And just to add in also, you know, I do have Christian values. If that puts some people off, fine. Again, you know, this is a problem with astrology as well, is that people will assume the kind of new agey philosophy onto me because of the astrology, and I'm not like that at all. It's natural law. Nature knows best, and Christianity is actually very much based on nature and the seasons, and so is astrology. And that's when astrology and Christianity meet really, really well. So I'm all about the seasons and working with the seasons and working with the moon. I mean, people plant by the moon. There are elements in the periodical tables and minerals that are resonant with the planets, like copper and Venus and Mars and iron. All these things are important to know, and so that, and also the mythology as well. There's truth in the mythology. So I can help with all those things, but I don't want to predict because it's putting me in danger and it's not good for you either. So yeah, so that's my thought for the day, and just my bringing up to you to date on where I am. And I just had a short haircut as well for the new year. All right then, so thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.